Hey, what's up, YouTube? Bismath here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a new filter on Propstream where you can find pre-probates to start marketing to in your wholesaling business. So if you all are interested in Propstream using the software, I talk about it. I use it in my own business. Link down below if you're interested, and be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And here I have Burton. Burton came on my channel before when we first introduced the app. So he's a specialist at Propstream. He does amazing things there. So shout out to Burton. But yeah, so we'll just break down this new feature, this new tool in Propstream, and different ways that you can implement it in this business. So first, thanks Burton once again for coming on to my channel. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come on and to bless the audience with your knowledge and and about Propstream. First thing I want to talk about or ask about, for my audience, there's different levels of us. I just want you to just explain, what exactly is probate and what is pre-probate, or how do they differ?
Yeah, so great question. So probate is the process of when something needs to happen to the property, right? Or someone's made a decision on what needs to happen to the property. So let's use an analogy here, and let's use like my great grandfather, right?
Mm,
And so I don't want to put anybody direct. So let's say my great grandfather has a property, and he's the only one on title, and then he passes away. But let's say I'm next of kin, right?
mm,
Now that property would go to me technically, but the title still has his name on that property. Now, in order for me to take title, which then allows me to sell the property or even refinance it or do anything with the property, I need to initiate a probate. So I got to go to the
mm,
probate office and initiate that probate so that the title can transfer from him to my name. So, what does probate ultimately mean in our definition? Someone's made a decision on the property, right? Pre probate, our new list that we provide, is before that process. What we've been able to do is successfully identify a property where someone has passed away and they have not yet initiated the probate process yet. So you're
mm,
in that limbo area where you're potentially going to be able to provide your services to someone who hasn't really made a decision on what they're going to do with that property at the moment. Now, here's my disclosure. This is by far the most sensitive list ever, right?
mm,
Whether it's probate, whether it's pre-probate or AKA or deceased list, this is the most sensitive list that you can deal with. That's why it took us quite some time to even achieve it. And not too many companies out there can even acquire it without charging you an additional subscription. So you're getting it with no additional costs. But
mm,
here's my disclosure. It's a very sensitive list. We do just simply advise one thing, that when you're talking to any of these leads, just pretend they're not a deceased owner. Pretend you never pulled it from a deceased list.
mm,
Just act like nothing, right? Just go straight with your business, right? When you're calling a homeowner, maybe a spouse whose husband or their wife has passed away, I don't want you guys calling and saying, "Hey, I heard someone pass away."
right.
That's not how you want to approach it. You just
Mm,
simply want to just offer your services. Hi, I'm a local realtor, just seeing if you want to list your property. Hi, I'm a lender, seeing if you need any of our services. Hi, I'm an investor. We're looking to buy real estate, right? So don't go after the list itself. Just know that we do have it. It's a great source of new leads for you, but let's not actually talk to them about that type of lead when you're actually talking to them. And that's just my only disclosure. But that's the difference between a probate and pre-probate deceased owners, our new lists.
got you. Okay, so what we have on PropStream are the pre-probates, not probates, to be
Correct.
specific. Okay, and
Absolutely.
yeah, essentially it's before they go through that probate process. Um, okay, and I mean to in one, I guess one degree, you're getting them before they go to probate because a lot of people still get probates, right? And so you're kind of one step ahead
Exactly.
when you're getting the pre-probates. But yeah, I like that, because it can be a sensitive topic, just like other lists, like whether it's a divorce list or even
Absolutely.
bankruptcy or inheritance. it's something that we have to, care about and, look at it like it's our own family, that we're helping out, and how we will discuss that. And not only think about like the money or the house itself, but, how we can help this person, and let them share, what's going on in their life
I
and different
love
things like
that.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And correct. This is
Yeah.
right before probate has been initiated. So benefit to you is, again, most of these spouses, maybe the children that are now about to inherit the property, they haven't made a decision yet. They don't know
Mm,
what to do, perhaps, right? And so that's where you potentially can come in there, provide your services, and now they have a reason to initiate the probate, right? So you could be
exactly.
potentially that reason and help the family through the situation that they're going through.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. All right. So let's get right into the software. Let me make sure you can share your screen and everything like that. And you can just hop onto Propstream, show us how to navigate the list, and then we can go from there.
Absolutely. So here's our Propstream. So the first thing you want to do is, just like when you're building any list, just go ahead and pull up a market, either a county, city, a zip code, or you can use our draw search feature. So just to put me on the spot, what county would you like me to search?
You can do, dang, there's so many. Well, I mean, around here it's Hamilton County,
Hamilton County
Tennessee. Yeah.
and Tennessee. Perfect. So we're in Hamilton County, Tennessee. And to find our new pre-probate list, you'll simply want to go into our filter, and it's under our quick list choices. So just
Mm-hmm.
click on that, and it's at the very bottom.
Mm,
So once you click on that, here we're going to isolate the deceased owners. Now, there's still some other things that you still want to apply to your
right.
search,
Yeah. Yeah.
just like
That-
your core elements, like whether you want it owner occupied, whether you want someone still answering the mail at that property, property characteristics, like perhaps, we want a residential single family property, no more than like 4 bedrooms.
mhm.
Once you're done with your characteristics, we have the MLS status, right? You probably want it off market. We have additional criteria like pre-foreclosures and foreclosure filters you can add to the situation. Ownership info, like the person that passed away was an individual, not a
Mhm.
corporation, where there was a recording of a deceased owner. So, I mean, corporation could be great as well. It just might it might evolve, or it might mean that you might need to do more research, trying to see who's really in charge of that corporate office and whether that
Exactly.
was the actual owner that passed away and so forth. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's just a little bit more involved, I should say.
Mhm.
But then you have your lien filters, bankruptcy filters, divorce filters. So you could say something like, not only did the person pass away and they're off market, they're a person, but they might now have a tax lien on the property as well, right?
Mhm.
So that could be a reason as to why they need to sell and sell quick, or the children or the spouses and so forth. Finally, we have the valuation and equity info, such as don't show me anything more than 300,000. And we want to make sure there's about 40% or more in equity. And
Mm.
finally, the mortgage data, right? That could also be a reason why someone would want to sell. Someone has passed away. The joint income that they have is now a solo income. And so when they passed away and they had that mortgage, it's now impacting the spouse or the
Mhm.
kids. The kids now have inherited a property with a mortgage on it, right? And so
Mm.
the first way to get to this list is it's under the quick list choices. So to repeat, all you have to do is hit clear all, search your market, go into the filter, choose the pre-probate list, and you can hit close and stop there, or just like we just did a few moments ago, add some more additional filters to it. So that's the first avenue. The other way to get to the pre-probate list is in the ownership info. You
Mm.
can go into the ownership info, and we have a filter here that says pre-probate, include, exclude, or any. Why did we do that? Why is it here? And then why is it over here? Well, the reason it's over here is because it allows you to stack that to another list. For example, you can either start with your pre-probates as your core list, or we can say we want to see the senior owners, but the senior owners that have passed away. So you see how we're stacking two categories together. So you can,
Mm-hmm.
again, go straight after the pre-probate from the get-go, or add the pre-probate to another category, like senior owners who've passed away, or perhaps delinquent properties where the person has passed away, right? So the fact that it's in the ownership info gives you the ability to stack it onto another criteria or another quick list choice. So this is how to get to our new pre-probate category. Either go directly to it and start as your core list, or choose another list and just know that in ownership info, you'll have the ability to include these deceased owners or stay away from them, or keep them in here, or either or.
Got you. Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, and by the way, you all, I'm learning like this list for the first time too. So I'm learning as along with you all. And yeah, I thought I never noticed like the mortgage information list actually like I can put on, hey, there's an open lien or like an open mortgage on the property. I think that would be really beneficial for my business and other people watching.
Mhm.
While you're to stack on top of like the pre-probates if you need to.
Oh, absolutely. And we
Yeah.
actually collect up to 4 loan positions. So you can even make the
Mm,
situation even more dire. Like, want someone who's, unfortunately passed away and they left 2 mortgages on the property, right? So
mm,
they probably pulled out a second thinking they were going to pay off that line of credit, but then they passed away, right?
mm,
Or, you know, I
yeah.
know friends and family personally that have gone through that situation where they had to pull out a line of credit because of medical reasons, right?
Mm,
Medical bills are so high, and then the worst case scenario happens: the individual passes away, and now the family is left with a first and a second mortgage, right? So
mm,
that could be a reason as to wanting to sell. So in your county, 147 individuals where they've passed away, and there's 2 mortgages. So when we click on this property, you can see Jonathan and Amanda, the person that passed away. So this is a new update as well. We tell you who passed away. So Amanda here
mm,
is left with 2 mortgages on that property, right?
mm,
So that could be a little too much for her, And
mm,
so these are just things that you have the capability of, and I'm happy that you highlighted that, because a lot of people think that being on a list is a reason to sell. No, not necessarily. Like, you don't even have to choose a list. You can go into Hamilton County and say, how many people have 3 mortgages? That could be a reason to sell property.
mm,
Like, what are you doing with 3 mortgages? That to me
mm,
sounds like a ticking time bomb, especially if you're not paying them on time and so forth,
mm.
right? So I'm happy that you brought that one up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because a lot of times when I'm showing like how I'm using Propstream, honestly, most of the time I don't use the quick list choices. I just go into like the filters, like the options, and I really drill into that so I can find the most motivation for my sellers and for my audience to find, to give them a slight competitive advantage to other people who are just clicking the quick list options. But that
Oh,
pre-probate is a really good one too.
I
Mhm.
love that you said that. And you're right. As this industry, more and more people are joining, which is great. That means more and more people are going to help more and more homeowners solve problems, right? But the inevitable is that, if more and more people are joining and everybody's just choosing a list, well, now you got a lot of people calling 704 people.
Mm,
To what you just said, the fact that you just go straight in the filter and say, I want to find an off-market property, and maybe the property is built, 1960 or before, and the homeowner lives in a different state. I mean,
mhm,
I love that you said that, because it's these types of leads, the ones that don't land on the list all the time, that could still want to sell. Like, you don't have to have a lien to sell your property. The
mhm,
fact that you are in a different state could be a reason that you
mhm,
want to sell, right? As a
mhm,
matter of fact, you're in a different state and you're dealing with a 60-year-old building, right?
mm,
That to me is a ticking time bomb. That means that you have to do rehabbing, you have to do this. So the fact that, like, you're not forced to choose a list like you just mentioned is amazing, because now we
mhm.
have 2,600 opportunities. The moment that you're forced to choose, let's say, a lean list, well, you only have 11 opportunities
Right.
left. That means that out of the 2,600 people, only 11 of them weren't paying a bill on time. Does that mean the
Mhm,
other 2,600 odd numbers don't want to sell? Not
mhm,
necessarily. right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like that you brought that up. That's also what makes us unique, is that it's really like it's like a buffet, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like a buffet of data. Like we have so many
Mm-hmm.
filters that you can Frankenstein your own situation and see it come to life, right? And then that to me is like the fun part about it.
Exactly. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, this was pretty straightforward, honestly, finding this quick list of pre-probates and just drilling down even more into this filter list. So I know my
Absolutely.
audience are really going to enjoy this, and hopefully you all can take action and implement it right now in your business. But yeah, was there anything else you want to say about this new list or
Yeah,
yeah?
think outside the box, just like we
Hmm.
said. I mean, there are so many filters available. Here's some more hidden gems for you guys. How about,
Hmm.
a pre-probate that's off market, owned by a person, and you can use one of our new filters, which is numbers of properties owned. So I'd like to see someone
Mm.
who's passed away, they're off market, they're an individual, they left maybe 5 or more properties, right? So
Wow.
here you go, right? So just again, it's all a matter of just thinking outside of the box. Like there are homeowners out there, millions of them, that are going through situations, and we have lots of filters so you can potentially create that situation and then hopefully find them and solve their issue. So that's just things that I want you guys to start considering. You find these deceased owners with multiple properties. Maybe they have mortgages, maybe they're out of state and stuff like that. Another thing I forgot to mention is that when you are saving a list, so if you do save a deceased list, we do have this new feature in My Properties where after you save the list, you can go here on the right side where it says Edit Columns and include the deceased owner on your Excel sheet. So by
Mm.
clicking on this option right here, it's under Property Owner Information, deceased owner, check that off and hit Apply. What that does is it includes that information on your Excel sheet. That
Got
way, when
you.
you're talking to someone, let's say you have the Excel sheet in front of you and you're calling people based off the Excel sheet and you don't have Propstream in front of you, it's going to at least tell you on Excel sheet, hey, there's 2 owners and the second owner is the one that passed
Pass.
away in this case.
Okay. Okay.
So
Got you.
that's our new pre-probate deceased list. And I hope you
Right.
guys learned quite a bit from it today.
Yeah, for sure. And a question that popped in my head when you were talking about this is, I guess, dates. So how is it determined? Like, is it like, okay, the person died within the past year, or it's just a person that died,
Yeah.
over like
So
50 years ago? So like, how do you all determine that?
So it's pretty much a person has passed away. We obviously have access to the death certificate. The person's passed away and they're on a title of a property. It is actually legal for us to tell you exactly when at the time that they
Mm,
passed away. So that's information we're not going to be able to provide ever.
okay.
And so I can't really tell you, yeah, these are people that passed away a month ago. What we're simply identifying is that on record someone's passed away and that someone still has their name on a title of a
Got you.
property. As to
Okay.
when that situation has happened, that we're not able to provide. That's why you don't have filters as when it was recorded or
Hmm.
the date of death, filter. That's not what we're going to do at all. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
ethically, I mean, legally we can't do it. And even if we had the option, our team would really think twice and long about that because
Yeah.
there's ethics involved in that. And we're a company a very, very, as I said from the beginning, we're all about ethics, right? And this is one
Right.
of the most sensitive lists out there. And so
Yeah.
we know that there's a lot of responsibility when we have that type of data. And so we really tread lightly on how we utilize this data and how we're providing it to our audience and the impact that it could have on the individuals facing that situation.
Got you. Yeah. Yeah. Totally makes sense. Yeah. I was just throwing that question out because I had that
No,
question
I
and
love
probably,
that you
yeah.
asked that
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
users will probably, I mean, well, they're already asking it now, but I'm
Right.
sure we have viewers that are going to want to know if that's a capability. So,
Right.
no, unfortunately, it's not for you guys.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Totally fine. Well, yeah. Well, I appreciate Burton for coming up on the channel and blessing my audience with this new list and just different ways that we can implement it into our business. All right, you all, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and then click the link if you're interested in Propstream. All right.